This is an insult of the highest order and disrespecting of Africans. That is a Chinese investor beating his employee in Kenya. Is this a type of investors we want in Africa? Investors who do not respect Africans, who can beat up at any time T? And I don't understand honestly how they look Africans, how they see Africans. Because this is not the first time to see Chinese investors or investor in Africa beating Africans. So if they are doing like this in our continent, what about when we are in their country? How much Africans are being disrespected in China? So this is unacceptable. And that's why always I'm saying Africans, yes, we need investors, but let us find a way how we can add value to our natural resources ourselves. Let us, we Africans, invest, because this is disrespecting. So someone can come up, can beat. Of course, if maybe you have done mistake, why don't him call you in office and tell you that you have done this mistake and maybe I'm not accepting what you have done, or expel you out of the office instead of beating you in front of your friends like a dog. And unfortunately, that man who was beaten has forgiven his employer. He said that he has decided to forgive. And that's the heart of Africans. Africans, we forgive. Even though we pass through difficulties, but we forgive. We have been taught to forgive, but others are not forgiving. If you mess up, they take action immediately. But this is an insult of the highest order, brothers and sisters. Let us Africans invest in our resources. Let us come together, brothers and sisters. And this is the reality. This is the reality. So here, you saw there's someone who recorded this video. What about those who have no access to internet, have no access to these smartphones? How they are being disrespected? Africans, we are suffering everywhere. We are suffering in our continent. Africans, we are suffering outside. A few days ago, I was watching on social media and television when Dr. Kana Chomboli Kwao and ADDI team visited Burkina Faso. When she was speaking with Burkinabe people, she spoken one thing that is very important. She said that African diaspora, of course, if we talk about African diaspora, we're talking about the black people. Black people, we are being defined different. Those who are living in America are being defined as criminals. Some of them, not all, some of them. If you are in America, if they saw black people, white people think that man is a criminal. And that's why you remember what happened to George Floyd. You remember the issue of George Floyd if you're familiar with American issues. George Floyd was assassinated under white police. So if you are coming from Caribbean, maybe black people, African diaspora from Caribbean, people are being defining, not people, those white people are defining Africans from Caribbeans as a smoker, ganja smokers. Those who are coming from the continent, taxi drivers, gatekeepers, gardeners, and sometimes illegal immigrants. That's why a few months ago you heard the story of Trump deporting some prisoners from America to some African countries. That's how we are defined. So I think even in the faces of Chinese, we are being defined differently. So Chinese don't see we Africans as people who need to be respected. And this is happening because we Africans We are begging too much from others while we have everything here. Do we need, is it true that Africans, we cannot invest in our iron sheets? What's the governments are doing in this continent? And because we are not investing, that's why we invite these investors who can come and beat us people, disrespecting people, doing whatever they want. And that's the reason. As long as we don't come together, brothers and sisters, we'll continue to be disrespected and we'll be beaten. So this is Chinese, but Europeans can, sometimes we think maybe this is for normal citizens. Even presidents, I remember last year, if not last year, or 2 years ago, when our leaders were loaded into buses like school kids in London. So this disrespecting is not only for maybe normal citizens, it is for all of black people. It doesn't matter you're a president, you are maybe someone, no. Disrespecting is for all of black people. What we need to do, black people, is to invest in our own resources. If we depend on the others, they know that they pay taxes, and some of politicians have already sponsored by these companies or these industries. They have already taken money, so they cannot do anything. They have been helped in their election campaign. So when a boss of a company or a boss of industry insult Africans, you have no voice. You can't say anything because you have already taken their money. So let us invest in our resources. It is possible. It is possible. It is possible. And if we continue to call investors, and these are kind of investors, who can come and beat people without respecting. So this is unacceptable, brothers and sisters. We cannot tolerate these things to happen again in our continent. Of course, they will do. We have taken loans from China, so this is how they're disrespecting us. They know we depend on them. They have hired maybe 100 people. So if you say close your factory and go, they know that people will reject. And that's why a man has shown wisdom by forgiving his boss. But all in all, because he knows that he has no other option. It's the only place where maybe he's learning his life. He gets wages and salaries to learn his life. That's why he forgive his boss. But all in all, brothers and sisters, it is paining, and this is unacceptable, brothers and sisters. So, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sharing this for you to see the reality and to understand why always we are saying, let us come together, let us unite. Because if we think others will come to help us, that's what they are doing. They are not helping us, they are disrespecting us, they are humiliating us. Africans, we are suffering in the continent. Africa, we are suffering outside. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa. Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make Africa great. Thank you, Africa. Thank you, Africa.